So I mentioned that this was a running display. They actually rushed for 7 total touchdowns, including 3 from Saquon Barkley, 3 from Jalen Hurts, but also 1 from backup running back Will Shipley. But let's give a shout out to Jalen Hurts. Many dubbed Jaden Daniels as the best QB of the NFC, and I'm sorry, who had 2 Super Bowl appearances by now? Jalen Hurts. Apparently Jalen Hurts can't throw. Well, he threw beautiful go balls to AJ Brown, who was quiet much of this postseason, and routinely found Dallas Goedert when the Eagles needed a play. Jalen also connected with AJ Brown for a pivotal touchdown just before halftime to create a gap that was basically insurmountable for the Commanders to respond from. With this win against the Commanders on Championship Sunday, Jalen Hurts becomes the first quarterback in over 30 years to lose his first Super Bowl appearance and return to the big game. This hasn't been done since Jim Kelly did so in the early 90s, and there are a lot of quarterbacks that have tried since and have failed to make a Super Bowl appearance. 19 quarterbacks to be exact, and several of those are big names like Donovan McNabb, MVP Rich Gannon, Joe Burrow, Matt Ryan, Cam Newton. All those names, they were having great seasons and they've had honestly pretty good careers, but they have failed to make the big dance since. But Jalen Hurts finally puts a stop to that and returns to the Super Bowl for the first time since 2022. The passing game has been a topic throughout the entire week, and it adds injury to insult when the quarterback is actually injured himself. He sustained a knee injury in that divisional round win against the LA Rams and looked very hobbled for the rest of the game. Thankfully, Saquon Barkley and the defense picked up the slack and they were able to get by the Rams just barely. They needed a big-time performance from Jalen Hurts, and boy did he deliver. Jaden Daniels has had a historic rookie season, but remember that Jalen Hurts is a phenomenal quarterback, and in this game, when they really needed him, he delivered. Like I said earlier, he found AJ Brown on a beautiful go route to set up another Eagles touchdown, and this was going up against Marshawn Lattimore, who has a lot of physical battles with AJ Brown. But like I've been saying, though, Marshawn Lattimore is washed at this point. I mean, he's basically just a guy that talks and gets into fights and draws penalties. Well, clearly AJ Brown has his number because he torched Lattimore time in and time out. Jalen led 8 touchdown drives, including a perfect 7 for 7 in the red zone, and him being a signal caller, I mean, he audibled to that touchdown run to kick things off. He saw a bad look in defense when probably they dialed up a pass play, audibled out, and gave a simple pitch out to Saquon Barkley, who simply did the rest behind that mammoth offensive line. He was in total command of this offense from start to finish. I mean, he had a beautiful game where he had 4 total touchdowns, 3 on the ground, 1 in the air to AJ Brown, like I mentioned, and simply just made better plays that he didn't do against the LA Rams. He didn't hold on to the ball and take a bunch of sacks. And whenever they needed a play, Jalen Hurts did it. He scrambled around and he looked healthy. I mean, the 2 tush-push touchdowns, sure, but the 9-yard scramble touchdown where it was a QB draw, and he had another one that was 17 yards out, which was another QB power, similar to the divisional round 44-yard touchdown run, and just looks so fast, elusive. And if he is healthy, I mean, that is just another dimension in this pick your poison type of offense. Yes, Saquon is the engine, but remember, they have many pass catchers like Dallas Goedert, Devontae Smith, AJ Brown, and behind this offensive line, the options are endless for the Philadelphia Eagles offense. Jalen Hurts is a proven winner in the NFL. He's beaten every top AFC quarterback in the last 2 years. He beat Patrick Mahomes, he's beaten Josh Allen, he's beaten Joe Burrow, and then later this year he also beat Lamar Jackson, the presumptive MVP. And against Jaden Daniels, the hotshot quarterback, the guy that's taken this league by storm, well, he outperformed him head-to-head in 2 out of 3 matchups. And like I've been saying, that second matchup when Jalen got knocked out of the game due to a concussion, well, again, I put that Commanders win as an asterisk. I mean, there was so many factors that went into that win, but when Jalen is healthy from start to finish, the Eagles haven't lost since their week 5 bye week. And yes, it's not the typical way that you play quarterback. It's not sit back in the pocket, make a quick read, get the ball out. He scrambles, he makes plays with his legs, he does things unorthodox, and he doesn't care about his stats. He's been straight up 100 about that from each press conference. All he cares about is winning. Dates back to his days in Alabama with the Oklahoma Sooners, and same thing in the NFL. All he cares about winning, and he's here to stay, and honestly has been the best quarterback in Eagles franchise history. He's the first quarterback to lead his team to multiple Super Bowls, and that's better than any Eagles quarterback. They've had Jaworski, McNabb, Vic, Nick Foles, who's won it but hasn't been consistent enough. They had Carson Wentz, Randall Cunningham. There have been so many good quarterbacks that played for the Philadelphia Eagles, but Jalen Hurts stands alone as the best in franchise history. He's always done what's asked of him, and it's not pretty, and like I said, it's not typical, but it's time to give respect to Jalen Hurts. He's not just the best quarterback in franchise history, or not even just his own division. He's the best quarterback in the NFC.